Hi everyone. I've been super busy, but I wanted to hop on here and do one, maybe two quick videos. So this video, as you can see in the title, is going to be about diet and exercise and remaining organized in how you eat and exercise and maintain your weight. That was a very roundabout way of saying that, but you get what I mean. So, this was prompted because recently I started trying intermittent fasting, and so far it's going well. I'm on day 3, and the way I'm doing it is I basically limit my eating to the hours between 1 p.m. 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. And that is the equivalent of about 2 meals. And I'm not starving myself or anything like that. I eat balanced, I eat healthy, I eat enough. I've not been dizzy or lightheaded or anything like that. But what really swayed my decision to try the intermittent fasting was I just kept hearing about it, and then I looked into it because it didn't sound like anything I'd be interested in at first, just like as a way of eating all the time. But then I realized that I actually used to eat that way. So growing up, I really did not like breakfast foods. They made me sick to my stomach. Just like eating breakfast in the morning made me feel sick for some reason, and most breakfast foods made me feel sick. So, okay, so when I was little, I wasn't allowed to skip breakfast. But as I got older, I kind of like would push it back as late as possible or just have lunch, just to avoid like the sick feeling of food sitting on my stomach in the morning. I know that sounds weird, but that's just kind of how, things worked for me. Also, processed foods. When I was small child, I couldn't tolerate many processed foods either. Looking back, I realized that that was what those foods had in common. For a very brief amount of time, like a few years, I couldn't do dairy. I don't know whether it was the taste of milk or whether it was the lactose itself that just made me, ugh. But then I went right back to normal, and now I process dairy very efficiently, and I love dairy. And the funny thing is, before all that, cheese was one of the few foods I could eat, and so I ate a lot of it. So I don't know if that triggered to those few years that I couldn't. But anyway, all that to say, I didn't think that, the 1 to 9 method of intermittent fasting was that different than the way I've eaten for years until I started to do things that kind of had me like working, from home or like non-traditional hours where I would just kind of eat all day. In moderation mostly, but just kind of like the several small meals thing that everyone was saying you should do for a while to keep your metabolism going or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's why I'm doing the intermittent fasting now. I will say that day 1, I hadn't planned to start it, and I had eaten after 9 p.m. So I actually ended up doing a fast from, let's say 10 or 11 the night I decided to start doing it until, oh no, actually, so it was about 7 or 8 when I first began, when I had like, when I had, evening food the day I decided to start doing it, or I guess like the night before I wanted to start doing it. So I said, okay, well, haven't been following this. I continued eating until after 9 that night. So I said the next morning, I'm not going to have any food. I'm going to have water, try to have lots of water, and I will do the fast, until the next dinner time. Like, basically, is that 24 hours? I guess 24 hours later, after like I began eating my, evening, I call it evening food because I was leaving work and I had like a snack, and then I got home and had more food. So evening food, I went from evening to evening without eating, and that was fine. I was actually not even hungry throughout the day, like not at all. I was out, and someone, yeah, had like cookies and muffins, and I had 1 or 2 mini muffins, maybe like an hour or two early. like before 7 p.m. or whatever. But I'm not a legalistic person in a lot of ways, so and I don't think you should necessarily be legalistic. Although I think you should like hold yourself accountable in terms of food and everything else. I wasn't going to be strict on myself. So, one mini muffin and two cookies, no big deal. And I wasn't even really hungry when I had those. So I had those and then I got home and I had some food. Um, yeah, up until 9. And then that was when I officially started the, 1 p.m. to 9 a.m. thing. And so, today was a full day. I think the day before was, so today was Wednesday. It's now Thursday because it's late at night, but today was Wednesday. And then the day before obviously was Tuesday. So I guess Tuesday might have been my first full day where, like after all, like, the full fast from evening to evening, I, skipped breakfast, didn't have anything until 1 and kept eating until 9. That was kind of challenging. Actually, I was pretty reckless because I went to see a movie, and before I went to see a movie, I had an entire large bag of Smart Food popcorn. I don't recommend doing that, but it was what I wanted. And I didn't buy popcorn at the movie theater as a result, which I could have done, but I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I know what's in the Smart Food, and I know that there's no artificial colors or anything like that, and I know how much it's gonna, like, whatever. Not only was it, like, budget friendlier than getting a tub of, and the other thing, like, if I have a huge tub of popcorn, I'm probably gonna eat it all, because I really, really love popcorn, and I've, cut down on my consumption of popcorn lately. So yeah, that's why I did that. Like, if I'm gonna I would rather, do a calorie or a carb. Really, it's about carbs for me. A carb splurge on a self-contained bag of Smart Food popcorn versus getting like an unlimited tub of not unlimited, but those tubs of popcorn are really big, and I didn't want to get myself into anything crazy at the movie theater, so I just had it at home. And then I went to the gym, and then I went to the theater to see the movie. I went to Saw Us, which is a good movie, and I highly recommend. So anyway, yeah, that bag of popcorn was like 1,400 calories, but it's okay because it was like probably the first thing I ate, from my 1 to 9 eating period, and mainly the only thing. So I had that, and then I went to the gym and I very deliberately burned 350 calories. And I did that, so I had limited time after, like, I had the popcorn, I probably had, like, some fruit and maybe, like, some veggies or something, or some, I don't know, like, whatever. That was, like, the main kind of, even though popcorn isn't terrible for you necessarily, that was the main junk food, quote unquote, I had. And then I had, like, some water and something fresh or whatever, like fruit or some kale or whatever. So I didn't add many calories onto that, as far as I remember. But I went to the gym after that, and that was the other reason I had the popcorn. Because I knew I was gonna burn all the carbs, because I was gonna go to the gym. And I was pressed for time. I only had like an hour, or like really like half an hour to work out. So I walked very briskly on the curve treadmill, which is self-propelled, and you burn 30% more calories. And so I did that for maybe like 20 minutes or so, 15. It ended up being like 17 minutes, including the cool down. And so I burned 350 of those 1,400 calories from the Smart Food popcorn. I was pretty satisfied with that. I didn't have anything at the movie theater because I had my water with me. I had my water at the gym. It was, I'm mentioning this because I really like it. The lemon ginger flavored Polar Springs. I think it's Polar Springs. I was going to say Poland Springs. But yeah, the 1 liter bottles of like the flavored sparkling water, now they have a lemon ginger flavor, and it might be my favorite now. So I had, my water, and I actually arrived kind of late for the movie. I missed the previews and the movie was like just starting when I walked in. So there wasn't even time to get snacks anyway. Not that I really felt inclined to do it. And so that first day went really well. Today went well also. I was with a client who enjoys giving me snacks. And so I was like very deliberate and waited until 1 p.m. because I was there for like a few hours. And yeah, she just like we had tea. She's from Ireland. So she's not even a big tea drinker, but presumably like, tea is a big thing to them and snacks or whatever. So we did have tea and snacks, but that was like, I made sure that it was like 1:30 or so. And, yeah, after that, it took a while to get home, but I did. And so the other thing about this intermittent fasting, the way I'm doing it, and let me mention that there are several different methods you can take. Like some people do 1 meal a day. I wasn't going to do that. I like the time range because presumably I can have lunch and dinner, and sometimes like I would do a late breakfast anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, I'm noticing that like I feel, because I've been so busy the past couple of days, I feel like I have to make a mad dash to get in. Now, I don't want to say as much food as possible, but like all the different foods I think about that I want to eat, which I'm not going crazy on like just horrible stuff, but like snacks and meals. I have to cram them within, that limited amount of out, like, what is that? Like 8 hours? And, do the stuff I need to do during the day, like work and whatever, and commute. So like, yeah, there's not that much time to go crazy on the food and the calories. And so that I think works out. And I think I've already cut my calorie consumption. So I weigh myself every time I go to the gym. Which is like a couple to a few times a week at this point. I didn't go today because like I'm working on something. And once I get this thing done, I think my schedule will be a little bit more manageable. And so I can get back to going like 5 days a week or whatever the case, whatever I want to do. But yeah, it's crazy. So I think this is going to work. It's going to be good. I ordered some clothes in like a size too small, and I will probably be in them, following this intermittent fasting thing. And I'm still able to eat healthy. It encourages me to drink water so that my stomach isn't just like empty during the day. Not that I feel hungry. Like that's how I know I was probably eating too much. Like I don't know, like, I can go that long without food. And the other thing is I was reading about like how humans, like people didn't, like the very, very original people didn't necessarily have 3 meals a day. And it was normal, like they had to go out and hunt the food. Sometimes I guess like it would take a couple days for them to go out to the place where they hunt the food, the buffalo or whatever they were eating, and then brought it back to the village or whatever. So yeah, at first I felt sad because they couldn't just like eat whenever they wanted to. But then I thought about it, and maybe it was just like food probably didn't mean the same thing to them that it does to us. And maybe it wasn't like such a huge comfort thing for them. And maybe it wasn't like sad if they had to miss a meal because like, first of all, they probably planned these things better. Now I'm sure like a famine would be sad, but, like if they have to go longer in between meals, I'm sure that like that was their lifestyle. And it wasn't like, oh man, I gotta wait like a few more hours before, I have that protein shake or whatever. I don't know. Or, like contemplating whether they'll have dessert or whatever. Like, yeah. So, I say all that to say that, food is kind of a social construct to an extent. And I'm learning that I've always thought this, but now I'm really learning on a different level. I guess it kind of like slipped out of my mind that we can get a handle on food versus letting it get a handle on us and our emotions, and the way we relate to it. And so that's what I'm doing. In addition to getting back to a size 2. But I tried to hold up a number 2. But that's not, you know, and that's not a drastic change. I'm probably between like a 4 and a 6 right now. Um, Closer to a 4 because I've dropped some weight going to the gym. But and I'm also adding muscle, so there's that. Like my leggings fit me weird now. But anyway, um yeah, so that's that. That is how I'm kind of organizing my food and my exercise. I wanted to mention the curved treadmill. If your gym has it, definitely do it. And I feel like I can tell it really burns those calories because every time I do like a huge calorie burn on it and I get off the thing, I feel lightheaded, which isn't normal. And it's not just because I was doing the fasting. First of all, I had eaten before I went to the gym that time. And second of all, before I was even doing anything different with my eating, like before I even tried to cut carbs, I would still feel that way. So I think it's got to be doing something. And I think it's just like the rapid change that happens, like the rapid calorie burn maybe, kind of takes something out of you when you step off. I don't know if other people feel that way when they use it, but that has been my experience. Like when I burn, like I think I've done like 500 calories on it or something before. Cause it doesn't take that long. Like if you're walking at like 5 miles an hour or like running, I've not tried running on it, but I'm sure that might be something else entirely. But it's good if you're pressed for time. And that is also part of the reason I joined a gym. First of all, like I joined kind of a luxurious gym because I wanted it to be a treat and I love the sauna. And so I can go to the sauna every day. And then, there are really nice pools at my gym. And then second, like the pools are like 80 degrees. I don't like cold pools. And so it works out. Like I want to go, even though I haven't been swimming since like late fall, early winter. But and then second, it helps me to be a little bit more organized with how I exercise. Obviously, you've got the machines that count your reps. You've got the treadmills, you've got the bikes, you've got things that measure how much you're doing. And my gym comes with a personal trainer. Like they evaluate you, even though I've been kind of like, I feel bad. My personal trainer probably thinks I'm ghosting her, but like membership includes seeing them like every 6 weeks, and then you see a nurse every 8 weeks to like measure every, you know, all of your body dimensions, your hydration level, your blood pressure, your weight, like everything, and then to tell you like what you need to work on, where you've improved, whatever. So that's really cool. And it's going great. It's going well. I've been kind of doing my own thing because like I veered off of my personal trainer's program that she made for me. And, cause I didn't think it was as effective. Like I really want to work on my core cause I feel like it might be like the weakest part of my body. And like, I don't know, like I feel it in my posture or something. Something feels weird with like my hip alignment. And so I've been working on that and my arms more. And I feel like, the resistance levels that she had me doing on the machines weren't nearly high enough. And so, yeah, there's that. So like, yeah, so that's how I stay organized with my exercise and my eating. If you have any questions about my personal routine or if you want to share your own, please do so in the comments. If you like more of these types of videos, let me know. Like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be bringing you more organizing content because I don't feel like I do enough. So more of like the organized lifestyle type stuff. Yeah. So, like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and be well. Bye now.